Tag TV and Tag Radio. Be seen and heard by both technology users and technology producers throughout the state of Georgia and around the world. Low cost, big benefits, powerhouse online branded video and audio has arrived. Tag TV, Tag Radio, there's a lot more to know. This edition of Tech Talk is brought to you by GlobalSpeak.com, new media consultants, corporate video and audio communications, video and audio production and distribution, live and virtual event production. Tag TV and Tag Radio is a service of GlobalSpeak.com, creatively delivering powerful marketing, video, and audio solutions. By now you know that all the buzz about it is beyond electric. Yet did you ever wonder what the big minds are planning next when it comes to the smart grid? Like, just how would, say, an IBM describe what it's all about? What if you could gain the insights direct from the highest C-level exec on what types of products and services will this booming, evolving marketplace require? What new innovations will it drive? Well, let's just say no problem and go for a sure thing. Allan Schurr, Vice President, IBM Global Energy and Utilities Industry. Greetings, everyone. It's Tuesday, October 12, 2010, and this is Tech Talk with Technology Association of Georgia President Tino Mandela. Our focus on the upcoming MIT Enterprise Forum TAG Smart Grid Summit, Wednesday, October the 13th at the IBM Hillside campus continues as we speak with a man responsible for IBM's market strategy, regulatory policy, and partner management for the global electric, gas, and water industries. Allan Schurr, IBM Global Energy and Utilities Industry VP, Strategy and Development. From the defining the grid in his own words to what types of products and services will this mammoth undertaking require. From consumer acceptance and future benefits, even a look into the future of its impact on electric vehicles. Allan shares insights rarely spoken outside of the boardroom as we tech talk IBM and the role it is and will play in creating the smart grid. Allan joins other distinguished panelists at Wednesday night's Grid Gathering, including former ISS co-founder and now an energy startup entrepreneur, Tom Noonan, President and CEO of JewelX, and General Manager Systems Engineering with the GE Energy Group, Anthony Maiello. The Tech Talk Smart Grid focus has looked at the opportunity from insider out. Entrepreneurs and engineers, now it's time to hear from a C-level exec at the top of the grid itself. IBM Global Energy and Utilities Industry VP, Allan Schurr.
Allan, thank you for joining me on Tech Talk today.
It's good to be with you today.
Let's start right out and talk about smart grid. How would IBM describe smart grid?
Well, the smart grid is really just a continued modernization of the grid that includes new sensors, communication networks, intelligence on the information that's being collected that connects all the parties, resulting in better efficiency for the generation and delivery of energy and better efficiency for the use of energy. It's just much more rapidly accelerating than the pace has been in the past now.
And, of course, technology is going to play a major role in the development of the smart grid. What types of products and services does IBM provide to utilities in respect to the advancing smart grid?
Well, technology is one of the most important parts alongside changes in business processes that occur when smart grid gets deployed. And IBM offers both a collection of services and of products that, alongside our business partners, create a total solution for the smart grid. So we're doing things in business services like writing business cases, justification, working with regulators on regulatory filings, to more technical services like integrating software and designing communication networks. And then in the product area, we've got both software and hardware, software to help integrate all of this so that it works together, and hardware in the areas of servers and storage to collect and store and access the data for these various applications.
Ultimately, the consumers are going to need to buy into this, and I think people are starting to at least hear the name smart grid. Are they warming up to it? Are they embracing it? And how is it displaying itself in the early days here?
Well, there's two parts of smart grid. One part is very visible to the consumer. That is the part that helps the consumer see how they're using energy, when they're using it, and helps them make choices about how to save money. But another large part of the smart grid are things that the consumer doesn't see directly, but in fact are happening all around them. That is helping detect outages faster and restore power sooner, how to avoid upgrading a electricity distribution line because there's a better way of managing the capacity on that line. Lots of efficiencies that happen on the grid benefit the consumer in the form of lower rates over time and higher reliability. And that's the part that is going to continue even if the consumer doesn't see it directly. It's the part that consumers see directly, the new meter, new consumption information, options for using energy at more opportune times. And combined, I think consumers not only will benefit significantly from the smart grid, but will come to appreciate how it improves the electricity service they receive.
That's a good segue into my question on benefits. So over the midterm, what will be the various benefits of a smart grid as it's being implemented?
Well, as you've seen really around the U.S., the near term we've started to see advanced meterings put in, and so consumers get some greater awareness of their consumption. But in the midterm, I think the next phase will be around the efficient operation of the distribution system, where the utilities will have more information about the status of that system. That helps them operate every day more efficiently, helping route around outages and restore power sooner, and it helps them every day in the way they plan for new investments on the grid. In the long run, I think that the benefits also include how to absorb more renewables and clean energy into the utility grid, because those resources, those power plants operate intermittently. There's a greater need for a sophisticated management system of the network than there's ever been.
Well, we have time for one more question, and it's this advancing of the electronic vehicles. Just seems like in the last 6 months, I would say, at least for me, you're hearing about it and reading about it. Seems like everywhere, and smart grid has to play a role in that, right?
It certainly does. It's a very popular topic these days because the automakers have gone from talking about it to actual product launch coming in later this year and early next year in the U.S. And all of these vehicles, as they connect to the electric grid, if they were to do so all at the same time, while there's plenty of generation capacity, there might be some stress points on the grid at the local or neighborhood level. And so we expect smart grid will be the foundation technology for smart charging. That is the technology to help cars charge at the right time, help avoid overload and stress on the network, and still supply a satisfactory or even a very ease-of-use type experience for the average consumer. And I think that smart grid will be a critical factor for the growth of electric cars.
Now, tomorrow night, if our listeners want to learn more about the smart grid, I'm sure we both would recommend that they attend the MIT Enterprise Forum and TAG Smart Grid Summit, which is being held at IBM in Hillside Auditorium from 5:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. So it will give them a chance to learn a lot more about smart grid and hear from some of our speakers that will be most in the know, certainly in this region. So, Allan, thanks so much for joining me on Tech Talk today.
Great to be on. Thanks.